friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time, and I'm here today just to talk briefly about the joys of putting up food. And so I have lots of videos on food preservation and food storage and the benefits and why you might want to do it, but I thought I'd approach this from a little bit different angle because as I'm shooting this video, I'm still at the time of the year that I'm bringing stuff in and I'm putting it up in various different ways. And I was sitting at my table the other day, just sipping a cup of coffee and looking at the jars of grape juice that I had just canned up, had washed them up, and the jars were just sitting there looking very pretty. And I was just kind of smiling to myself, thinking about what a comfort it is to not only have the ability to do that, but to just have that much more going into my food storage. So I store foods in many different ways. Right here is just an example of a few dried foods I have put up, which is probably the number one way I put up food is to dehydrate because of its space saving and all that. But I do like to do canning too. And so this year I canned up potatoes and homemade salsa with tomatoes and peppers from my own garden. Like I said, I canned up some grape juice. I also have some wine brewing right over here from my own grapes. I also canned up plums from our own tree. I didn't can up peaches this year, but that is something we do like to put up. And we have yet to get a peach tree to put out peaches for us here in our cool and very wet, short season climate. But that is something I like to put up when we can get our hands on some good organic ones. I also canned up green beans like I do almost every year. Some other things I typically will can up are apple butters and berry jams and meats. And though I don't usually can like the dry beans, instead I prefer to cook them up and dehydrate because they save so much space. I'll do the same thing with chilies and whatnot. And just all kinds of great foods I've got put up in my food storage. And so when you are able to just kind of look at what you've done, every year I go in there, I'm rearranging my jars of either dried foods or canned foods, or cleaning out my freezer and rearranging things in there and making room for the new stuff coming in. And so there's just this wonderful feeling of accomplishment and a beauty I get to enjoy when I see all these filled jars in my pantry or even just sitting on my counter because I just got them canned up. I still got to wash them and label them and then get them put into storage. But it's such a beautiful and satisfying sight. And also the fact that I know exactly what is in all those jars, even if I had to purchase, let's say like the peaches, I had to purchase those to can up. There's still this wonderful feeling because I know what I used in there. I know that I didn't add a bunch of unnatural preservatives. It's just everything is done the most natural, organic way that I'm able to do that. And so that's a good feeling. I have a certain amount of control over what's going into our pantry and what is then going into our bodies. So that feels good. And then also having the comfort of knowing that these foods are going to be there when I need them. I have my own little grocery store. Maybe it's in various places around my home, but I do have one main room for our pantry for our food storage. And I also have one that is off-site, so not on this particular piece of property. And so knowing I have this food in time of dire need or of just maybe I don't feel like going to the store, I know that I can go back to my pantry and I can get the ingredients, or maybe that jar of chili I had put up years ago, or whatever it is that I can throw together a meal very easily out of what I have put up myself, and much of it out of things that I've grown myself as well. So anyway, I just wanted to put this out there in this way, just as a form of encouragement to get people who are still kind of on the fence of putting up their own food. Even if you don't have a garden, being able to buy stuff in bulk in the most organic, healthy form there is and put it up for yourself, you're still doing a favor for yourself and your family by at least doing that much. And let us, of course, not forget the fermented foods, because I do like to ferment some things like the eggs from my chickens every now and then, or fermented cucumber kimchi or other such things, or like I mentioned, the wine from my own grapes or rhubarb or berries. And it is very, very satisfying. So please share with us in comments down below, especially if you're one that's already doing all these things. What are your favorite things to put up? What is your favorite things about putting these up? What kind of joy do you get out of putting up food, be it from your own garden or that which you had to purchase or barter for from somebody else? So that other people can just be encouraged and then maybe consider taking on some of these things and learning how to do this for themselves. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.